3 more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling as long as you possibly can. Hopefully growing your inhale to at least a 5 or 6 second count and an exhale that is as long as, if not longer than, your in-breath. And bring your arms down alongside your torso. Draw the shoulders back a bit. Take a long inhale and sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your thighs, round your back, and engage your abdominals. Inhale to extend your spine. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, extend. And exhale, round. This time, extend even more, placing your ribs to your thighs. Sweep your arms back toward the wall behind you and take an in-breath. As you exhale, keep your ribs on your thighs, straighten your legs out a bit, reach your crown to ground, fingertips to the sky. Inhale, open up the chest, move it back to where we originally were, fingers back, crown forward. Exhale and do a forward fold. Your knees are bent on purpose. And one last time, inhale, thigh bones parallel to the floor, spine extending. And exhale into a deep forward fold. And bring your hands down to the earth, push down with your palms, and maybe get your legs to straighten out a little bit more, keeping the ribs and your thighs together. Inhale into the back of your body, expanding your back ribs to the ceiling. Exhale, maybe the legs go just a little bit straighter. Good, now inhale, extend your torso forward away from your thighs. Straighten out your legs as much as you can. Exhale, draw the crown back down towards your toes. Inhale, slowly extend the spine. And exhale, fold your head toward your toes, ribs towards your thighs. One more time like that. Inhale, extend, maybe get a little more space between the ribs and the spine. I'm sorry, the ribs and the thighs. Exhale, crown towards your toes. Root down and rise up slowly. Sweep your arms overhead. Take a long inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, this time we'll swan dive forward. Pull your body weight into the fronts of your feet. Shin bones are moving forward. Your crown is drawing down. Inhale, rise halfway. Jump back or walk back to a plank pose. Exhale all the way down to chaturanga and all the way down onto your belly. So you could drop to your knees at any time and then move to your belly. Inhale, move into a bhujangasana. And exhale, ribs back down and forward. So as the ribs lower, you're tractioning them forward. Again, inhale, ribs up. Exhale, ribs forward as you bring them down. Spread the fronts of the shoulders away from each other as the crown draws forward. One more time, inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Push up from there to hands and knees. Find your extended spine. Sorry about that. Exhale, round your back. Abs are engaging. Draw the navel in and up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Inhale, spinal extension. Exhale, round your back. Stand up onto the pads of your toes and press back to downward facing dog. Now take an inhale, move forward into a pike position, keeping the hips up high. Exhale, root down through your heels, lift your toes if possible, move into a deeper down dog. Now roll onto the pads of your toes, move the hips forward, shoulders come over the wrists. Exhale, press to down dog, heels down, toes up. Last time, inhaling into a pike, maybe standing up onto the tips of the toes. Exhale, roll through the soles of your feet, root your heels down and lift the toes if possible. Take a final in-breath here. Exhale all the air up. Then once you are empty, jump forward or walk forward. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Root down, rise up. Remember to keep your hips over your heels as you rise. Take a little back bend. Inhale. Exhale, bring hands back to heart and navel back to spine. Again, reach up, open up. Exhale, swan dive without your hips moving back behind your heels, right? So again, think of that diving block that's propelling you forward. Folding in. Inhale, extend. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. Exhale to chaturanga. And again, all the way down to your belly. Inhale into Utkatasana. Exhale, lower the ribs and lift the legs. Inhale, lift the ribs, lower the legs slowly. Exhale, ribs traction forward as the legs rise. Crown of your head is reaching to the front of the room. Inhale, ribs rising, legs descending, push down through the tops of your feet. Exhale, ribs lower and the legs rise. Take one more full breath here with the legs still lifting. Exhale, pull the legs back as though you're tractioning out your legs here as you lower them back down on that exhalation. Push up on inhale to hands and knees. This time you can either keep doing cat-cow or stand up onto the pads of your toes and lift your shins. That's your inhale. Exhale, round the back, bring your forehead to knees and knees to forehead. Inhale, shins parallel with the floor, sternum forward. Exhale, knees come up to meet forehead, forehead tucks in to meet the knees, abs are strong. Last time, and you can always bring your knees to the ground here, remember. Inhale, extend. Stand up onto the pads of your toes. Exhale, round your back. And then continue your exhalation to move into downward facing dog. This time we're going to inhale into a high push-up and exhale back to down dog. Inhale into high plank. Exhale, press to down dog. Use your abs to push the pelvis back up to the sky. Last time, inhale, high push-up. Exhale, press back to down dog, heels toward the earth. Take a full breath in here in downward facing dog. Empty everything out. Jump forward or walk forward, and when you land, take your in-breath. Exhale, fold, crown to toes. Feet are about sit bone distance apart. Root down, we're gonna rise up. Reach back on your inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, last time with with this A series, reaching up. And exhale, with your abs strong, lower down. Inhale, extend. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. Exhale all the way down onto the belly again. Inhale into Utkatasana. As you exhale, lower the rib cage and lift the legs. Now keep your ribs and your forehead on the floor. Take an inhale to lift the legs just a little higher. Exhale, pull the toes back, pull the legs back as you lower them down slowly. With your forehead still on the floor, make sure the fronts of your shoulders are rising. Inhale the legs off the ground. Exhale the legs back as you bring them back down. So make the legs longer as the tops of your toes touch the floor. One more time, inhale. Legs come up, exhale, legs lengthen back as you lower them slowly down. Push up on inhale to hands and knees. Exhale, stand up onto the toes and bring forehead to knees, knees to forehead. Inhale, spinal extension with the shins hovering or knees on the ground. Exhale, round your back, engage the lower abs, move your sit bones towards your heels. Last time, inhale, extension. Exhale, tuck tailbone and round the back. Then straighten out your legs at the end of the exhale and move to downward facing dog. This time, stand way up onto the pads of your toes as you inhale. Exhale your hips to the left and your toes will point to the right. Inhale up onto the toes, exhale, hips to right, toes turn left. And do this 2 more times in both directions, just swiveling the pelvis from side to side, working your obliques right now. Heels up on inhale, heels to one side, and your toes to the other as you exhale. Once you have done 3, bring it back to center. And move into one more breath in downward facing dog. Rooting down through your heels, quads are strong, move the thigh bones back. At the end of this last exhale, empty out completely. Jump forward, walk forward, inhale, find that length. And exhale, fold it all back in. Bend your knees now, weight into your heels, rise up for Utkatasana. Exhale, dive forward into Uttanasana. Bend the knees, weight into the heels, rise up, Utkatasana. Exhale, dive slowly into Uttanasana. Last time, bend the knees, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, diving forward, quads are active. Fold it in. Inhale, slow extension. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. This time we'll exhale down into Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower into that low push-up and hold in low push-up for just a moment. Then inhale to up dog. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow slowly. Last time, lift the right leg and bring it in. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Both legs will straighten out here. Your hands, both of them are pressing down firmly into the floor. Your left foot is lined up with your left hip, not with your right foot. So your feet are not lined up on a tightrope, right? And your back is slightly rounded here. Now walk your hands further forward, like you're trying to get beyond the front of your mat. Push down through the heels of your hands to create some traction there in your lower spine. Make sure you're keeping a soft bend in your right knee here. This is your exhale. On your in-breath, keep pushing down to the heels of your hands so you can even lift your fingers off the floor, but move into a lunge. Exhale, straighten out both legs. Keep pushing with the arms into that rounded back position. Inhale into a lunge, push back through the left heel as you bring your pelvis closer to the floor. Turn your right toes out a bit if this feels any pinchiness in the right knee, just turn your right toes out a bit. Exhale, straighten out both legs. And again, bend into the right knee, inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, round the back slightly, both heels to the ground if possible. Push through the heels of your hands as well, and really find that traction effect when your arms are more activated. But plant both palms firmly to the mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left foot. Take a deep in-breath here. Exhale to Chaturanga. Hold in Chaturanga for a moment, and then inhale into up dog. Using your abs, come back to downward facing dog. Push your pelvis toward the ceiling with that core engagement. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, left leg rising. Exhale, knee to elbow, elbows bend, and your elbows meeting your knee as well. Last time, inhale. Exhale, bring it in slowly. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Push your hands firmly into the mat and then straighten out both legs. Make sure your right leg is lined up with your right hip, left leg with left hip. Take an inhale, walk your hands further forward. Push the floor away. It's like you're trying to make your mat longer. You're pushing isometrically forward to push the front edge of your mat further away from the back edge. Take a breath here. Make sure you're feeling the decompression that occurs when your arms get long. When your arms get strong. So feel like you're getting to traction out your spine a bit here. And also notice there's no pressure on that back knee, the left knee. Now bend into the left knee. Maybe turn your left toes out just a bit and move into a lunge. Your right hip bone closer to the floor. Exhale into both legs straight, rounding the back slightly, abs are strong. Inhale, extend your spine, keep pushing down to the heels of your hands, keep pushing the right heel back. And exhale, round the back. Lengthen out your arms, lengthen out your spine, engage your abs. Last time, bend into the left knee. Move the right hip bone closer to the ground. Straighten out both legs. Push even more through the arms. Maybe your hands at this point are off of the sticky mat entirely. Good, and then plant your palms firmly to the mat. Step your left foot back. Move through your vinyasa. And back to down dog eventually. Take a full breath in down dog. And a strong, long exhalation. Now we're going to root down to just the right hand and the right foot. Lifting, you can lift your left hand up or just take all the pressure off of it. And then switch sides. Over to the left. And then over to the right. This is all, it's not just your hands, right? It's left hand and left foot are going to come down. You could lift both sides up, right? You don't have to, but that's really, we don't want to weight bear. And last time, left hand, left foot down. Your right limbs can come up. And then right foot, right hand on the ground, and your left limbs can come up. Lower back to downward facing dog and take a deep breath in here. Exhale to empty out. Find Uddiyana Bandha. Jump or walk your feet back to your hands. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees now, weight into your heels. Let's rise up for Utkatasana. As you exhale, we're going to dive forward again and fold it in. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms overhead. This time, take a twist. But inhale and hold it. Exhale, back to a forward fold. Bend your knees, reach up, inhale. Exhale, twist to the other side. Hold on, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Once again on each side. So bend the knees, sweep the arms overhead. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, twist to one side or the other. Stay there and take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Straighten out your legs a little bit more. And last time, bend the knees, arms rising. Take your in-breath into Utkatasana. Exhale, twist to one side or the other. Inhale, lengthen more. And exhale, both hands back to the earth. Moving into our second V series, extend your spine on your in-breath. Plant the palms, jump back or walk back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, come onto the pads of your toes. Lift with your core. Push the pelvis to the sky as you move to down dog. Reach your right leg up on an inhale. And then knee to forehead, forehead to knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it in. Last time, inhale, rise. Exhale, in. Step your right foot through. And press your back heel flat. Take an inhale and reach your arms back just like we did in our first position. Reach back, rise up. Warrior one. Exhale, sweep the arms down and then back as you lower your right ribs to your right thigh. Reach back, rise up on an inhale, warrior one. Good, exhale, sweep the arms down and back. Ribs come to thigh. Reach back, rise up, sweep your arms from behind you overhead, warrior one. Last time, arms reach down and then back, open up the chest. Reach back, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, both hands come down alongside the right foot. Step your right foot back to meet your left foot. Take an in-breath in high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, stand up onto the pads of your toes. Abs are strongly pressing the pelvis upward. Moving into more of that jackknife position with your core. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to forehead, forehead to knee. Excuse me, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bring it in. Last time, rising on in breath. Engaging on out breath. Step your left foot through, press your right heel flat. Take a breath here. Good, exhale, push down with your legs, reach your arms toward the back wall. Keep reaching back, rise up, inhale, warrior one. Exhale, dive forward. But keep your ribs, keep your spine extended as you come into that, letting your ribs rest on your left thigh. Reach back, rise up, inhale. Good, exhale, place your ribs to your left thigh. Sweep your arms through the full range of motion all the way to the back wall. Reach back and sweep the arms from behind you overhead. Warrior one. Good, exhale, both hands come down to frame the left foot. Step your left foot back. Take an in breath here. As you exhale, lower to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Sorry, I've got sunscreen in my eyes today. Exhale back to downward facing dog. And once you're in down dog, take a breath, and on your exhale, just bend your elbows a little bit, but hug them into midline as you start. It's like we're lowering the elbows to the floor, but they're not going to touch. And then come back to a straight arm without locking out the elbow. Bend your elbows down, hug them into midline. Straighten out your arms without locking the elbow. Last time, bend the elbows and hug them in. And then straighten it all back out. Take one final breath here. Strong, long exhalation. Jump forward or walk forward. Inhale, look for length. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees now, weight into your heels, rise up to Utkatasana. And this time we're just gonna move it right into a twist on the exhale. Inhale, right back up into Utkatasana. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. And you can take any variation on that twist that you'd like to. Inhale, arms rise, your heels are down, your toes are up. Exhale, twist to one side or the other. Inhale, rise. And exhale, twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Good, inhale into Utkatasana. Now we get to dive forward into Uttanasana, folding forward. Inhale, slow extension. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale, right leg will rise. Right knee to left elbow as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Slide your right knee through your hands. Slide your left leg back. Come onto the top of your left foot. Take an inhale here in lizard pose. And as you exhale, hug your spine with your spinal muscles. Open up the fronts of your shoulders. Bend your back knee so that that back heel comes in. Now lower the toes slowly. And then bring the heel back up. And if you're only able to lift a tiny bit, that's fine. Just make sure you're not on your kneecap. You're on your thigh muscles. That's why we got ourselves in lizard, because it's much, much easier to come onto the thigh, the left thigh, and stay off of that left knee when we're in lizard pose. So bring that heel back up. Good, and then slowly lower it down. Push down through your palms. We're gonna roll back and come into I'll show you the back view. You're sitting on your back heel and your right foot is flat to the mat. Okay? And if possible, please do let your foot get a nice stretch there. Okay? Push down through your right foot. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, dive, hands down, ribs on right thigh. Inhale, lift up. If it's too much on the pads, if it's too much on your left foot, come onto the top of your foot. Bring your forehead to your right knee. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Then straighten out or pick up your left knee. Your feet are only about 2 feet distance apart. And drape your body over your right shin. Bend and bring the left knee back down. Straighten and bring forehead to right shin. Bend, and this is really nice functional integrity work. As we get older, we get less mobile, less able to actually move off of the floor. So this is just a good exercise in helping us work the muscles that help us do that. Bring your hands forward well in front of your right foot. Step your right foot back and move through your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, use your abs to press the pelvis up. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bring it in. Hug your inner arms to midline so that the elbow comes in to meet the knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it in. Slide your left knee through your hands. Slide your right leg back even further. Come onto the top of your right foot. Take an inhale here. Exhale, walk your hands a little further forward so you're definitely on your right thigh and off of the kneecap, right? Flex your right foot and bring your right heel toward right sit bone. Lower the foot slowly. And the slower the better, right? Bring the heel in and slowly lower it down. Feel like you have to push something really heavy away with your foot so that the glutes and the hamstrings stay engaged throughout. One more time, heel comes in to meet the sit bone. And then we push something heavy away with the pads of the toes. Good, once you're there, walk your hands in, roll onto the sole of your left foot. Sit back onto your right heel if possible. This right foot is stretching. Sweep the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, round the back and bring your forehead to your knee. Inhale, extend the spine. Just let that toe stand. It might hurt a little bit, but try to stay with it. Really, really good for agility. One last time, reaching up. And exhale, hands down and forehead to knee. Now from there, pick up your right knee and pour your torso over your left leg. Bend the left knee, bring your right knee, right shin back down to the ground, extend the spine, and exhale, come back up off the floor. One more time, shin down, open up, and exhale, push through the left foot to come up into that forward fold. Then walk your hands well forward of your feet and step your left foot back, move through your vinyasa. And once you're there, we're going to take 5 breaths. And I'm going to let you move in whatever way makes sense to you now in downward facing dog. But just move in a way that creates some asymmetry or creates some pattern interrupt for you so that you know you're having to stay present while you're in this pose. Maybe we take a really small wagging of the tailbone. Right, but again, whatever makes sense to you at this point, you can also just take a break. Take one more breath. And a strong emptying exhalation. Once you are empty, bend your knees, jump your feet to your hands. This time come down to a seated position on the floor and extend the legs forward. Inhale, the arms will rise. And exhale, dive over your legs. Reach up and inhale. Circle the arms around and through the shoulders, lean back and point your fingers at your toes. Inhale, reach up. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, rise. Sweep the arms behind you. If you'd like to, you can lift the heels. Moving into the more traditional Navasana. Heels down, arms rising, Uttanasana. Exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Rise on inhale, circle around, exhale, Navasana. Arms circle back and up, and exhale forward. Last time, inhale, rise. Circle the arms around and through, exhale into Navasana. Now hold Navasana. You can always bring your feet to the floor and hold onto the backs of your thighs. Lean back and you'll still feel it. You can bring your feet so that they're hovering. Reach your fingers past your knees. You can increase the intensity by bringing your arms away from the center, right? The further you move those levers away from the fulcrum point, right, the more weight you're asking your fulcrum point to support. 2 more breaths. One final inhale here. Exhale, bring your feet down to the mat, bring your hands back behind you. Point your fingers toward the back of your mat. Palms are on the floor. Inhale, open through your chest, bend your elbows. Exhale, lift your hips, move the pelvis up to the sky. One inhale here. Exhale the hips down, but keep the chest open. Turn the fingers out so they're pointing to either edge of the mat. Inhale, open chest. You don't have to lift the hips here if you don't want to. Exhale, if you do want to, you're gonna lift the glutes and engage the glutes. Make sure your hamstrings are also engaged. One more inhale here, lift the hips higher. Exhale, the hips back down, chest stays open, elbows are soft. Finally, turn your palms so that your fingers point towards your glutes. Inhale, keep the elbows bent, open the chest. You'll definitely still feel this workout even if you don't lift your hips, so feel free to stay seated. Otherwise, on your next breath, lift the pelvis. Strong legs. Move your thigh bones up with your hamstrings. Take one final inhale here. And exhale the hips back down to the floor. Great work. Lengthen your legs forward and sweep the arms from behind you overhead again. And this time we'll exhale into Uttanasana, and we will hold Uttanasana, or seated forward fold. So you can even pick up your sit bones and bring them back a little bit. Decide to draw the ribs further forward. Place your ribs onto your thighs to the best of your ability. And then work the crown of your head toward your toes and your forehead toward the space between your shin bones. So your legs, are not, the inner edges of your feet are not together. We want to have room to actually draw the torso down and in between the thighs and in between the shins if possible. My arms are not holding onto my feet, they're just reaching forward. 2 more breaths. Finish your last exhale. Hold your body empty as you reach past your toes. Rise up slowly. Sweep the arms around and through the shoulders. And as you reach forward this time, you're going to roll all the way onto your back. So you may need to slide a little further forward. Make sure you have your yoga mat all the way behind you. Roll down as slowly as you possibly can here, controlling that movement with your abdominal muscles. Then reach your arms up alongside your ears and over your head. But stay there and take a deep in breath, as though you're expanding that breath from your center into the toes and into the fingertips. Good. On your next exhale, we're going to bring slowly. So let's engage first. Make sure your abs are engaged. Bring your left arm and your right leg up. Touch the 2 together, fingers and toes together if possible. And if not, just move in that direction. Your right arm is reaching up overhead unless that's too much on your right shoulder girdle. And we're going to inhale the fingers and toes away from each other, maybe 5 feet away from each other. Exhale, engage your abs first. Once you feel your abs engaged, then bring the fingers and toes closer in. Inhale, bring them about 6 or 7 feet away from each other. Exhale, engage abs first. Keep engaging, keep exhaling as you bring the fingers and toes together. And last time, let's bring them almost all the way back down to the floor. That's your inhale. Exhale, engage abs, keep exhaling, and bring the leg and the arm back up. Good. Once you get there, clasp your left hand behind your right calf. Flex your right foot. Inhale, reach your right arm back toward the wall behind you. And exhale, root down and anchor down with your left leg. If that's too much on your left hamstrings, bend your left knee and push your left foot into the floor instead. Another inhale. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders up. Reach your right arm past your right leg toward the front and bring your forehead toward your right shin. Lift your shoulder blades all the way off the ground here. Exhale, bring your forehead to your shin, bring your shin a little closer to the forehead. Your left leg again is actively rooting down, or if you want to work your abs a little bit more, lift your left leg up and then reach. Take a strong exhale, go a little bit further here. And then let your head and shoulders come down, let your left leg come down. Take your left hand to the outside of your right shin and coax the right leg across the body to the left. Once you get there, reach your arms out to either side of the room. Turn your head to the right. Try to get your left hip bone to touch the floor or get somewhere close, and at the same time, keep the right shoulder blade on the floor or somewhere close. Good, now we're gonna lift the right leg up without moving the left hip bone off the ground. So keep the left hip bone touching the floor. Right leg comes up only as high as you can get it without lifting the left hip bone up. Exhale the right leg over to the left again, reaching further to the left wall, like you're trying to touch the left wall with your foot. The inner edge of your right foot descends and touches the ground if possible. Again, engage your core first. Lift the leg up without the left hip coming off the floor. I know it doesn't look like much is happening. Hopefully you're feeling this. Good, and then slowly, slowly reach the right leg across your body even more to the left. Keep the left hip bone on the floor. Try to keep the right shoulder blade on the mat. Okay, let's bring it up one more time. Leg comes up without the pelvis moving, without the shoulder blade lifting. Use your internal body to do this work. Good, and last time, we're going to take it back over to the left. Think about using the strength of your right leg now to stretch out the lower back, the right side of your lower back even more. Good, and now just use this as a twist. Bend both knees if you need to take any pressure off. You can take your left hand to your right calf and gently just draw the right leg a little bit further to the left. Take one final exhale here, ring out one more time. Good, and then release your left arm back down to the floor, roll onto your back and roll the right leg back up to the ceiling. Take an inhale in this position. Exhale, pull the right leg closer to the right ribs without using your arms this time. And then inhale, right heel over right sit bone. Exhale the right leg very, very slowly all the way down to the ground. Good, when the right heel finally touches down, take your in-breath. And exhale, engage your abs. Plug into that inner strength. Bring both arms overhead on this next inhale. Keep your left arm reaching back. Exhale, engage abs first. Bring your right arm and left leg up together. Fingers to toes, toes to fingers, or get somewhere close. Inhale the two limbs about 5 feet away from each other. Engage abs. Exhale, bring the two back together. Little more effort in the leg especially. Inhale, maybe 6, 7, or 8 feet apart. Exhale, engage abs, bring them together. Root down through right leg at the same time. This time, lower the right arm almost to the ground, lower the left leg almost to the ground as you inhale. Exhale, engage the transverse abdominis. First, you can even put your left hand there, make sure it stays engaged. Bring the hand and the leg, hands and feet together. Your left arm can remain over your head if you'd like. Then take your right hand back behind your left calf. Take a huge in-breath here. Again, if you need to, you can bend the right knee and place the sole of your right foot to the floor. Otherwise, keep the leg anchored there. On your next exhale, reach the left arm past your left leg. You don't even have to lift your head and shoulders off the floor. If you do want to work your abs a bit, bring your forehead up towards your shin. You can lift your right leg to add a little more weight bearing to the abdominal exercise we're doing. Left arm reaches further forward. Your shoulder blades are off the floor. Maybe your back ribs are also off the floor. But we are also coaxing the leg closer to forehead, forehead closer to shin, right? So the arm, your right arm is working on this one. Take a final exhale. And then release head, neck, and shoulders down. Release your right leg to the floor. Take your right hand to the outside of the left shin. Left arm reaches to the left. And we're going to slowly, resisting the pull of gravity all the way down, slowly bring your left leg across the body to the right. Roll onto your right hip bone. So the hip bone is definitely touching the floor. Left arm reaches to the left. Turn your head to look over your left shoulder. Good, and then just hold this twist for a breath or two before we start moving with it. Breathing to where you feel it, exhaling to wring out any tension, any tightness. Exhaling completely to mobilize the spine. Now reach your right arm out to the right, letting go of your left shin. Both shoulder blades stay on the ground. Your right hip bone is still touching the floor. Inhale to slowly bring the left leg up without rolling onto your back and without lifting the left shoulder blade or the right hip bone. So you got to move really slowly to negotiate that, all of that, right? And then as the leg comes back down, we're not dropping it down. We're reaching it more to the right side of the room without right hip bone coming up and without left shoulder blade coming up. Maybe we can touch all the way down to the inner edge of the foot, touches down, lift again. Engage your abs first. Lift the leg without the right hip and left shoulder blade moving. Exhale back down. And we're not just moving straight back down, we're also reaching more to the right, so that there's an increased stretch happening all the way down the left side of the back. Last time. Inhale, lift slowly. The slower, the better. Maybe the leg can come up a little further away from the ground without the shoulder blade and the hip lifting up as well. And this time as you lower, again, reaching even further to the left, further to the right, increasing the stretch all the way at the left side body. Take your right hand to your left calf and move this into a deeper spinal twist. You can bend your knees, one or the other or both at any time. Breathe and remember that as you're inhaling to saturate the stretch. As you're exhaling to wring out excess, wring out your excess tension, wring out any resistance. The left shoulder blade is moving toward the earth. Good. Let go of your left shin, bring your right hand to the ground and slowly, slowly roll onto your back. The left leg will extend up over your left hip. Without using your arms, exhale your leg in closer to your ribs. Flex the foot, take another inhale, and another long, strong exhale. Abs are really strong, and remember that they're pressing the internal organs down toward the back body, toward the spine. Inhale, bring the left heel over left sit bone, and with strong, long exhale, extend the left leg all the way down to the floor. When the left heel touches, take your in-breath. Good, and as you exhale, slide your heels in, extend both legs up to the ceiling and take your inhale. Your arms are still reaching out to either side. Make sure your arms are slightly below the shoulders. Exhale, draw navel down, scoop the pelvis off the ground and mobilize your lower spine. So we're gonna lift the sacrum up, the tailbone of course comes up to the sacrum. Now we're gonna lift the lumbar spine up. Notice how the shoulders wanna hunch up to help you do that. So keep them down, keep the fronts of the shoulders open, keep the backs of your shoulders on the floor. But yeah, lift the entire pelvis off the ground decidedly, right? Then roll through the lower thoracic spine, roll through your lumbar spine, roll onto your sacrum, take an inhale. Flex your feet, exhale the legs away from you. Only to the point where you know that your abs are working, but your back ribs are on the floor and your sacrum is on the floor. Hold there and take an inhale. Exhale, engage your core and then move your legs with that engagement. Slowly, super, super slowly. Heels are over sit bones, inhale. Without your shoulders coming up, press down through the backs of the shoulders, press your shoulder blades into the earth, scoop the pelvis up, pull the lumbar spine off the floor, peel the lower thoracic spine off the floor. Don't let your shoulders get involved. Make sure your facial muscles are relaxed. That's the end of the exhale. Hold there on your inhale. Good, and then exhale, slowly roll through the lower thoracic spine, roll through the small of your back, roll onto the sacrum. Good, and inhale while the heels are over your sit bones. Last time, we're gonna exhale the legs forward. Maybe a little further forward this time. Take an in-breath and hold. Exhale, engage intrinsically, draw navel down, bring the legs up, keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale at center, and exhale to scoop the pelvis up. Draw the navel down. Keep the shoulder blades, the ribs, and the backs of your shoulders on the ground, but lift all the way up off of the rest of your back. Feel the lower core really, really firing. Good, roll slowly down. Take an inhale here. Exhale the legs forward. Hold there and take an inhale as we've been doing. This time, bend your knees at the same time. Make sure you're not letting your back arch away from the floor. Just use a lot of, it's really hard to talk, but use a lot of lower belly as you do that. And then place your feet to the floor. And throughout that whole thing, you should have been feeling your abs work, okay? Once your feet land though, let them take a little break. Take an inhale here. And exhale again to scoop the pelvis up off of the floor. Point the sit bones towards your knees. Inhale, sacrum down, lumbar spine comes up. Make sure your shoulders are still on the ground. Backs of shoulders. Exhale, scoop pelvis up and point your sit bones toward your knees here. Last time, take your in-breath. And your out breath, scooping the pelvis up and then peel the spine one vertebra at a time up into a bridge. Walk your arms underneath you. We will hold bridge. Slide your heels in perhaps just a little closer. You can even slide them in so close that the fingers are touching the heels. And that's up to you, right? You want to make sure that your shoulder blades are completely off the floor at this point. Lift one shoulder off the ground and put it more underneath you. Lift the other shoulder off the ground and place it underneath you a little more. Bring your chin up away from the soft part of your throat. Traction your pelvis away from your ribs by pulling the sit bones towards your knees. We're going to hold here for 5 more breaths. And as you take the deep inhale, we're inhaling to the front of the body. It's stretching. And not only your abs are stretching, but your quads are stretching as well. So make sure you feel like your thighs get to breathe with you. Every exhale is from the back of the body. That includes your hamstrings, your glutes, and of course your lower, your middle, and your upper back. Take a final inhale here. Lift higher, right? Make sure you're not sinking into your lower spine. Take your arms out from underneath you and roll your spine very slowly back down to the earth. Please take your time. Once the hips touch, take an in-breath. And exhale, bring your knees in, clasp your hands around your shins, forehead up to meet the knees, knees in to meet the forehead. Take a look at your abs and make sure that they are, once again, pressing the internal organs toward the spine. Shoulders are away from the ears. Reach your arms out, keep your knees in close, lower your head slowly, and begin to just rotate your legs over to the left and back up and over to the right and back up. Do that 2 more times with the knees in as close to the chest as possible. Turn your head in the opposite direction that your knees are going. And you can breathe in whatever way makes sense to your body here. 1 more time to each side, knees in as close as possible. All of this, again, really based on functional integrity work. So not just a workout, but really moving in a way that allows us to move through our daily lives. Now we're going to move the knees away from the chest so that the knees are, if we can look at the knees, they're going to be over the belly button basically, okay? Arms are still reaching out. We're going to do the same thing. Exhale all the way over to the left. Maybe you can touch the outer shin to the ground. You don't need to. Bring the knees in, don't bring them too close into the chest. We want to be rocking across a different part of the spine now. Okay, we're going to do 2 more of these. I'm going to remind you to keep the shoulder blades from coming off the floor. Keep the backs of the shoulders and shoulder blades on the floor. Keep the back ribs rolling from side to side, right? So if your knees are pointed to the left, your right ribs will come up, the back right ribs, and vice versa, right? If your knees are to the right, the back of your left rib cage comes up. Good. Now bring it to center, and knees are now over your pelvis. Your thigh bones are perpendicular to the floor. Exhale over to one side. And you want to stay in sensation. So at this point, I'm going to ask you not to actually let the legs touch the floor, or you'll lose that interior engagement. So we want to stay engaged. Exhale the knees to one side, let them hover above the floor about 6 inches. Your knees come back up and your thigh bones are still perpendicular to the floor as the knees rise. Exhale to the opposite side. So we're massaging out and lubricating the sacroiliac joints now. One more time to each side. As your knees turn to the left, your head turns to the right, and again, vice versa. Thigh bones perpendicular as you come up to center. And as the knees move to the opposite side, turn your head away from that. Bring it back to neutral. Take a deep inhale here and extend both legs straight up to the sky. As you exhale, move into any inversion of choice. So you could stay in Viparita Karani. You can move from here into a plow pose, using your hands to help you on the back of the pelvis to move into a plow, or even just a halfway point, right? If you'd like to go into full plow, just make sure that your chin is up away from the soft part of the throat and you're not compressing your cervical vertebrae. You can also place the heels of your hands to the back of your pelvis and allow the pelvis to rest into your hands as you move kind of in and out of this pose, or into a half shoulder stand as well. I love half shoulder stand because it really does give you the option to not compress your neck at all. You can easily turn your head side to side. There's no compression. They're very safe for those of us with neck issues. Your chin is away from the soft part of the throat, no matter what inversion you're taking. Plow, shoulder stand, or Viparita, or any other inversion. Maybe you want to go up against the wall and take a headstand, a handstand, a forearm stand. You can also roll in and out of any of these, but please take 5 more breaths in whatever inversion you're choosing to take today. Slow down your breath. On your last exhale, please everyone roll out of whatever inversion you are taking and into Viparita Karani. So we're back to where we started. Your heels are over your sit bones. We'll take a deep inhale once we get to Viparita. This time we're going to reach up with our hands to take a hold of the calves. Bring your forehead up to your shins. Wrap the elbows around the backs of the knees. And bring it into almost like an upside down seated forward fold, right? So it's a Urdhva Paschimottanasana. Root through the inner edges of your feet, pushing the inner edges of your feet closer to the ceiling. Bring your chest closer to your knees. Bring your forehead closer to your shins. But now this is a pose of compression for your internal organs. So I want you to be really cognizant of when you come out of this. So slowly go ahead and release and notice how much circulation, right, kind of floods your body as you come out of that deep compression pose. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, let's lower both legs all the way down to the ground. If you need to, you can lower one leg at a time, but eventually come into a position where you're lying onto your back. Shake your limbs out, roll side to side. Do whatever it takes to just get any residual tension to come up to the surface and be released here. And once you have that feeling that you've let go of the tension that we have maybe brought up to the surface to be released, or tension you didn't even know was there, right? Shake it all out and then just release your body weight into the earth. Soften your face and your jaw, your eyes, your forehead. Release any effort that you're making to take a deep breath, right? Maybe you take one more deep breath in, and then after that, just release any intention to effort your breath at all. Let your breath become very subtle. Let the weight of your body give into the pull of gravity. Let the weight of your skull give into the pull of gravity. Have that feeling while you're in Shavasana of spreading out, even if it's not physically that you're spreading out, but you're spreading your awareness out. You're spreading your beingness out, right? You're feeling and noticing that you can expand your consciousness well beyond the confines of your physical body. As though you're taking the blinders off of the mind's eye and you're able to see the bigger picture. This is one of the best gifts that yoga can give us, right? Is that we are able to expand our sight, our awareness, our experience by staying present and by learning how to actively be present. So thanks so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday and your weekend. Take care. Please rest for another few minutes.